Dr. Candace.
I am wonderful, Dr. T. How are you? And how are you to
Um,
our viewers as well? It is Friday. I am
yes,
doing excellent. And you are doing well?
I am doing well,
How
doing
you
well,
holding up
doing
in the
well.
storm?
Look, I'm doing good because it's just a lot of rain. I went out earlier. I'm back in the house, so I'm good today.
That's
I'm
good.
good.
That's
Happy
good.
to be here. Happy to be here. So, welcome everybody to a Mental Health Minute with Dr. Candace Elaine and Dr. Tyra. We are here to talk about some of the things that are going on in mental health. We want to, feel free to comment in our comment section. Let us know. We are live on YouTube today. Yay. And so we want to educate y'all on some of the hot topics and some of the awesome things that's going on in society. Dr. Candace.
Absolutely. Beautifully said. So that's what we do. That's what we do at the Mental Health Minute. Dr. T and myself, we come on and we try to educate, insight, and just enlighten and bring on, have good grown folks, intelligent conversation about things that are going on in the world. And as everyone know, to our new viewers, thank you for rocking with us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. And you can keep coming back and watching it. And don't forget to share the video. So we always start off with these amazing, amazing hot topics. We call it the tea. Like I call her Dr. T because she always got the tea. So we're going to start with the tea. So Dr. T, tell us, what's the tea this week? What's our hot topic?
Oh my God. So this week on Hot Topics, right, there was a meme out that had a number of celebrity men on there, such as Tyrese, Kanye, and I think and it was a couple others on there, right? And
Will
so
Smith.
I think he was on there also. So
Okay.
what was happening on this meme was they were, basically talking about black men and mental health, and and how we have to be there to support our brothers, during these times, because you just don't know. And it's like when things happen with people having breakdowns, and how we need to be there to support them before it gets to that point. Like everybody has a boiling point, right? And it's like we should be able to have these conversations beforehand before it gets to that boiling level where someone is actually exploding online, on social media, so to speak, right? For the different things. When I look at, some of the things that was happening, it was all of their personal lives being drug all over social media. Now, it's one thing when it's happening in your own home, right? But then there's another thing when you have to keep reliving it over and over and over again, right? And that can do something to a person. Because and sometimes, I know a lot of people who use social media as an outlet, right, to heal themselves by because they look at it like this is a chronologically a chronological story of their life and
Yes.
what they're going through, and they've
Hmm.
been using social media as this type of an outlet, right? you know but when you're in the media, right, and you're in the media eye, people always look for you to be well. And so when a situation occurs and it shows that you're not doing well, that hits different. Some people use it as a time to belittle people, to make fun of them. And some people, it's like, wait a minute, we need to help these folks. We need to be there. We need to give them a hug. We need to be able to be there to talk to them, engage them in a conversation. We need to make sure that they are well. A lot of people don't authentically ask people, hey, how you doing? Hey,
Exactly.
boy, you all right? Hey, guy. Hey,
Yeah.
sir. Hey, king. Hey, king, are you okay? Hey, queen, are you okay? And being able to ask, are you okay? And everything be fine, and they be able, fine enough to say, I am not okay. And it's okay to
Exactly.
say you're not okay. A lot of situations happen, right, in our lives that will cause us to have outbursts, right? It's
Hmm.
all in how we handle the situations, right? So that it doesn't lead to that type of outburst. Specializing in anger management, I see this all the time. First comes the anger, then come the depression, then come the anger, come back again now. And the
That's
anger
right.
comes back because at this point you done had time while you were depressed to sit back and start really, really thinking about things. And you like, no way, you're not getting away with this one. Yeah, and then that's when we start thinking of ways to navigate this, not really trying to play victim, but just trying to find a way, like, I need to be heard. When it comes to a number of situations, that is the bottom line. People feel like they are not being heard, and that's what we need to be able to do, be able to say I'm not okay, and be able to be there to listen to people so that so they can feel like they are being heard. What's your
Exactly.
take
I
on
I
the hot
love it.
topics?
So
Mhm,
regarding this, with that meme, it was derogatory. The meme was derogatory. The
mhm,
meme that was put up, and the men on there, because I saw it, and the men on there, they were placed in a situation where shame, guilt, like,
mhm,
why did I
mhm,
come forward? And that wasn't, it's not fair. They, who do they have to turn on? So, and
mhm.
it's all brothers. We already have a hard time with our brothers speaking up. Girl, we got a hard time with our brothers going to the doctor when they hurt their foot.
Hello.
When they're like,
Mhm,
no, foot falling off, but I'm gonna go to work today though, with your foot falling off.
mhm,
So we already got a hard
mhm.
time of them checking on their blood pressure and their glucose. And now
Right.
we're ridiculing them for when they're feeling a certain way emotionally. So I find
Mhm,
that we got to do better. We got to do better as a community
mhm,
because when I saw that meme, all
mhm.
those brothers on there, and like you said, they were talking about personal issues within their family, whether it be their children, with their wives, whatever it may be. Personal
Right.
issues. It was looked at as, all you weak, all this and that, and why he crying,
Mhm,
or why this. You do know people, and I know you
mhm,
know this, Dr. T, you're an expert in this as well. When our black men don't reach out and are not getting the mental health services or the understanding and the caring and the talks and
mhm.
everything and the love
Right.
that they need, and they're battling with mental health issues. I'm going to say this
Mhm,
because I say it every week. Everybody has mental health. Not everybody has a mental illness. However, your
mhm,
mental health can become
mhm,
tainted if you don't
mhm.
take care of it. You take care of your mental health, honey, it'll take care of you. So when these
Exactly.
brothers are battling with their mental health, whatever it
Mhm,
may be, from their mental health or to a mental illness,
mhm,
and they're not getting treated, they take it out on the women in their lives, on the children
mhm,
in their lives, on their job,
mhm.
or they self
Okay.
sabotage.
Mhm.
And then we wonder what's wrong with him. Maybe he needs
Right.
someone to talk to. We got to do better
Right.
as the community, as
Mhm.
people.
I
Absolutely.
agree.
Because as soon
I
as,
agree.
and I ain't
Mhm,
gonna tiptoe on this, but I'm gonna lay it on the table. As
mhm,
soon as the brothers go to
mhm,
other ethnicities for help and
mhm,
discernment and caring
mhm.
and love, we be the main ones.
Hello.
Why he over there?
Oh, he could have
I'll
came over
leave
here and
that
talked to
there,
us.
that's another
But
topic.
look, he could have came and talked to us. What's wrong with him? And it's just
Exactly.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
would have came and talked to you if you wasn't acting like that.
Hmm. Yeah, we got to do better. We got to do better. We
Gotta
got to
do a
look
whole lot
at the
better.
behavior. We got to look at the person. Or we could just say
Mhm,
this, like Dr. T said, how you feel? What's going on? You want
mhm,
to talk? You battling with anxiety? What? Just ask.
mhm, mhm,
Just ask. So
mhm.
absolutely. Yeah. So we do have to do better with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that hot topic. That was amazing to bring that one in. We need that.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Dr. T, what else you got today for our hot topics?
Oh my gosh. Look, I well, one hot topic, I guess a fun, not really fun, but Little Wayne said he has too much money and he needs a wife.
You know what? I'm already married. But look, wait, here I go. Why you playing?
You know what? I'm not mad at him.
I
Bottom
like
line is,
Little Wayne.
I do too. I do too. And everybody needs to be happy. Everybody needs
Yes,
to be happy.
I wish him well.
And yeah, I wish him well too, because it was not like he wasn't married before. He has been married before.
Yes.
And so to want to find love again and to have and to get married, I think that's good, and
I
I
think
wish
it's
him
beautiful as
best of
well.
luck.
Yes, but you
Mhm.
know, Dr. T, and the audience know me as well. Y'all know I'm about to put my spin on it. You know, I'll be taking these deep dives and can't even
Ah,
swim. Let you know how I do. Is he saying that? So that's the moment where we can just think about it a little bit. Is Little Wayne saying, I need a wife because I got too much money? Are you saying that for tax purposes or are you saying it for love? Because you know, when you got a lot of money, you know, you got to go out these celebrities and the people, wealthy people. Now
mhm,
you got middle class, working class,
mhm.
rich, and then you got wealth. So,
Right,
you know, when you got a lot of money, you got to go out and buy an airplane because that becomes a dependent. You like, I
right,
got to write this off. You know, you got to
right.
spend your money. You like, I'm gonna go and buy a shopping center. I got to spend my money.
Mhm.
I'm a, you know, start a label. I got to do something. So is Little Wayne saying this for because you want to write a sister off? You know, like she gonna shop. She may start a business. I can write her off. She become a dependent. Are you saying this for tax purposes or for love?
You know what? I'ma say, you know what? That's my Libra brother. He
Come
a
on,
Libra. And I'm gonna say for my Libra brother, I think he probably is looking for it for real.
there we go.
I think my
Okay,
Libra brother is because Libra men ain't gonna just say it.
okay.
They don't
Okay.
say it.
Yeah.
They
Okay, because
don't.
I know
They
Libra
will
women though. A Libra woman would be like, I pay all these taxes. If I don't want you, I don't want you.
exactly. So I think if he's saying he want it, he want it. You
Okay.
know.
And I wish him
Mhm.
well. I really do.
Yeah.
I wish him
Wish him
well because I
so.
know
Yes, but
he
I
sees.
just don't want him to do it on a reality show.
I know
I
that
want
makes
him
it
to.
cheesy.
I don't want you to be the bachelor. I don't want you doing nothing, none of that. I want you just to find it on your own.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
Hmm.
beautiful. Absolutely.
Hmm.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. So, T, that is our hot topic, our hot topics. And
Yes.
please weigh in, audience. We want to know. Like, I'm with T. She says that Lil Wayne is saying that because he wants to share his life. Yeah, you do know when we
Right.
get a certain age, we want to share our life with somebody. We get tired
Right.
of just, yeah,
Hmm.
you know, I can be with her, her, and her, and her. Now I think I'm for real.
Hmm.
I want to share my
Right.
life. So we would love to hear you weigh in. So we would like to hear from you. So our main
Mhm.
topic goes a little deep, and that's what we're here for. This is the mental health minute. We
Yes.
take these deep dives, we get into it.
Hmm.
Our main topic today, we're talking about suicide risk. We are talking about suicide prevention and mental health in the Black communities, in the African
Hmm.
American communities. You got some Black folks who say African American community, and you got some like me to say the Black communities. We're going to
Hmm.
talk about that today.
Yes.
Mental health and suicide prevention and suicide just wellness. We're gonna have a
Hmm.
grown folks conversation about something that we need to have a conversation about. So, T, would you like to start?
Sure. So our conversation today stems from the situation that occurred this past Sunday when Miss USA 2019, Miss Chesley Chris committed suicide on what was it, on a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. right after she did her post on Instagram. She did a post, and then after that, that was it, and then we got word that she committed suicide by about 5, 6 o'clock on Sunday evening, and it was right before I went live when I found out. This young lady, 30 years old, prime of her life. But what we seen is, like, I just pulled up a story. Her mom decided to share that she hid her depression. She's hid a depression for years, and she left a note leaving everything to her mother, because she wasn't married or anything, but it's just been, a whirlwind within all communities because of this, because no one knew. And so one thing I will say, when it comes to, suicide, right? Suicide, as Dr. King says, is not prejudice when it comes to that, okay? When it comes to situations like suicide, race, nothing is a factor in it, and things will, and if a person's going to do it, they're going to do it. Now when it comes to, suicide, right, you hear more men being completers than you hear of women being completers when it comes to suicide, but this has been something that has been, a major issue this past week, And it's just like now, we have to be as African Americans, black people, we have to be more in tune with being able to say we are not okay, and being able to say, okay, I'm ready to go to therapy and talk about it. What do you have to say, Dr. Candace?
Absolutely. My heart goes out to that young woman's family and to her mother. It's really sad. However, as a clinician myself, I understand. Just because I don't understand, just because I understand, as I know you do as well, doesn't mean that we still are not saddened by this. But we understand because we're professionals and we're familiar with this. It's very sad, and we never know why people decide to do what they decide to do, why they decide to um, death by suicide. We never know. There's many reasons, from mental health reasons, and then you have some non-mental health reasons as well, such as jail time, loved ones feel you can't live without someone, financial issues, whatever the case may be. However, my heart goes out to her family. I have a couple of questions that I would like to address, you and I, Dr. T, and also for the audience as well to weigh on. Is Dr. T, why do you believe suicide is so high right now in the Black community?
I think right now a lot of this is stemming from what we've been going through for the past 2 years. Since March 2020, we have been through a global pandemic. We've been going through COVID-19. We've had so many issues happening within our society. Then, not on top of that, we had a lot of racial injustices happening. I think all of this plays a role in why this is currently happening in our society. I think it's, right now, a lot of people really don't know what's next. What's next? What to expect? Um, and with that being said, is like people are spending a lot more time alone, because of the way this whole situation with the pandemic has been set up, right? You can't be around this person, can't be around that person, because you've been out socializing, interacting. And I think what it is a lot of people are spending more time alone, and we know what that is. When you spend a lot of time alone, is like that's the devil's playground, because your mind starts to wander. You start to think about things that are far out of your control, which increases your anxiety. It increases your depression, your anxiety, to put you in a mindset that you really wouldn't normally be in because of this. And if you are alone and you don't like to talk to people about what you're going through, that's a whole nother piece. Being able to have that active communication, that I think this is what has brought on with all of this that's been happening.
Absolutely. Yes, I totally agree with you. The pandemic has a lot to do with it. And so I totally agree with Dr. T, though, amazing what she said, that the pandemic has a lot to do with it being alone and being alone with your thoughts. Because she's right. Idle mind is a devil's workshop. What you doing? So I agree. However, I'm going to put my spin on it as well. I actually believe a lot of us were taught and also mimic others, such as family members, where we don't know how to ask for help. In our communities, we sweep it under the rug. Oh, honey, we sweep it under the rug. We have so much going on, from trauma to drama to everything in the family, from childhood trauma, and we bring it into adulthood and we sweep it under the rug. And at some point, the wind gonna come, the devil or a situation, and gonna pick that rug up, and it's all there. And we don't know what to do with what has been done to us. So I think a lot of times when we don't open up in the Black communities about our mental health and why suicide rate is so high for us, it's because we don't know how to speak up. We don't. Not all of us. So let me say that. Not all of us, but most of us. We don't know how to speak up. We don't know where to go. We were taught two things: sweep it under the rug or take it to Jesus, take it to the church. And now in 2022, some of us ain't even taking it to Him. We ain't even taking it to Jesus. Some of us ain't even taking it to the church, because some of the churches, due to this pandemic, they had to close down and go on Zoom. So now what you got? Now what you got? And now you stuck with it. And you what? And you don't know where to look for help. And then the ones that has reached out for help in the black communities was not able to find the ones that look like us. You know, in psych world, especially psychologists, it's 4%. It's just black, just a 4%. That small percentage. So a lot of times, if you have insurance with your employer and they give you a network, a lot of times they don't look like us. And when you're sitting down having a therapy and intimate conversations about how you feel, you want to speak with someone that you can relate to, and and talking to somebody you think that can relate to you and even look like you. So my take on it is I don't think we know what to do with that. We don't open up. We don't know how to open up. We wasn't taught. Sweep it under the rug or take it to the Lord. And then, like I said, now we're not even taking it to him. Would you agree with that, Dr. T?
I would agree. I would agree. And it's so funny because I wrote a workbook, a mental health workbook called Maintaining Good Mental Health. And in the workbook, I talk about being able to find someone to talk to about what you're experiencing, right? And one thing I talked about was how, when people say, okay, take it to church, talk to your pastor, this, that, and the other, I tell people, you need to make sure that everybody is well that you're actually going to talk to. Because sometimes people think that when they go into religious figures that they're well. And sometimes they're not. And they're not going to tell you that they're not well. You know what I mean? They're going to just do what they want to do. But
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, just being able to find who you can speak to, utilizing all of the hotline numbers and being able to talk to people about what's going on.
That's right. I totally agree. Yes. And you hit it right on the nose. A lot of times they are not well as well because they're not reaching out. They're not reaching out. So, absolutely. So, with that being said, we got to learn how to reach out. We got to learn how to talk to someone, and we could take small steps, but we have to do that. My next one is Dr. T, to you and the audience as well. Why do you believe that most Black people find it so difficult, especially our Black men, especially our Black men, to talk about their feelings, to talk about how they feel, to talk about the pain, talk about the hurt?
I think it's because of strength. When we see them, we see strength. We see, we see strength. We see, everybody expects them to carry the weight on their shoulders, right? And not be able to, and not have any problems. Like, oh, you all right, you're fine, it's nothing going on. But at the end of the day, it's like, when you start carrying the weight of the world on you, all of your problems, all of the children's problems, it's like when you think of the male figure, whether it's black or white, the male figure is always looked at as the head of the house,
Exactly.
right? And when you're the head of the house, you're supposed to have everything under control.
Hmm.
And it doesn't, and at the end of the day, it don't have a race on it. Male's supposed to be male, the male figure of the house. They supposed to be able the protectors, right? They supposed to be the protector of the home. And as a protector of the home, that's supposed to be, you know in their world, it's supposed to mean protecting the mental, the physical, as well as the safety of everything that's going on in the home. But if they protecting all of this, right, who protecting them?
Exactly.
you know and it's just
Absolutely.
right. And it's just like, if they doing all this protecting everybody in the house, nobody's protecting them. And then when things happen and they find out about it later, it's always like, well, why ain't nobody tell me?
Hmm. Yes, that goes on to. I like that. I like that you brought that up. I love when you do this. You do it every week, Dr. T. You always end so beautifully, and we slide into my next question because my next question is: should we have open suicidal conversations about with our families, healthy conversations about it, to say, to
Mhm.
ask questions, to not to ask questions as in What's wrong? What's going on? So basically, what I'm asking, should in our families, not just Black communities, all communities, should
Hmm.
we have a plan for our families? Because it's so hush hush. Just like the young woman said about her daughter. She said, "My daughter hid her depression." So,
Hmm.
so we can prevent, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring
Right.
awareness and trying to get the
Hmm.
communities to, because prevention is better than cure. But after death by suicide, sweetie, there is no cure. That's it. That's it. So what I'm asking is, should we have some type of suicide prevention plan within our Black communities where we have conversations like this, have podcasts, have commercials, have something within the family to bring
I
that
think so.
embarrassment, shame, guilt down? Do you think we should implement a plan?
I think so. We
Oh,
implement plans for everything else. So why not implement a plan for that? We implement a plan for college. We implement a plan for the doctors. We find out something wrong with us physically. We implement a plan. So why not implement a plan for mental health?
absolutely. Absolutely. And I like that you raised that up. We do implement a plan for us physically, but we don't mentally.
Hmm.
Do you think, because most of society, and I know this because statistics have shown,
Hmm.
79% of us, all of us,
Hmm.
especially in the Black communities, we don't look
Hmm.
at mental health and mental illness as something wrong with you. You know, people
No,
use these terms when they're depressed. Oh, just pray about it. Oh, just think positive. Oh, tomorrow's a better day. People has it worse. They use statements like that.
right. But then you got people that say that they are depressed and they don't be depressed
Yes.
because you got people that use it for an attention seeking mechanism.
How could we tell the difference? How could a loved one tell the difference?
Behavior,
Yeah.
behavior, the choice of words that they're using.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have a when you're around someone in your family, right? You have a general base on them in regards to if any kind of changes is happening with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that being said, being able to have that discussion with them to see if they are truly depressed. Because one thing, as a mental health professional, I'm gonna tell you, it takes me to a whole nother level when people tell people you need therapy, and they tell other people that they need therapy, but then they the ones need therapy too.
Exactly.
And it's just like with you telling somebody that they need therapy, the person will go, like, I'm gonna give a prime example, right? I got a phone call. This was back a few months ago, right? Somebody called me, oh my God, I don't know what's going on with my cousin. She's doing this, and this. She needs therapy. I know she needs therapy. She needs help to talk about her problems. Can you talk to her? I said, okay, give me her number, give her mine, and we could definitely, see if this is a fit and we could talk, right? So I talked to the woman and everything, and it was just like, oh, so she was depressed. Like she had a lot of loss, right? And something in me said she wasn't as depressed as they thought. You know what I mean? Um, Fast forward, right now, I talked to the woman all of one time. She never called back,
Oh,
never showed up for her sessions. So I said to the person that called me, I said, you said she needed therapy. I said, but I'm gonna tell you like this: stop telling people that they need therapy. Or if they're not asking you for a number, then you don't offer a number.
mhm.
Okay? Because at the end of the day, what you think they need is not needed for them because they
Ex-
don't want it, right?
Exactly.
So fast forward to this week. I said to the person, how's that individual that you referred to me for therapy? How's that person doing? What's going on? I never heard back from them. It's been about 7, 8 months, right? Like I said, she no showed on appointments, right? She said, girl, I don't know what the hell wrong with her. I said, why? She said she travel every other week. Every month she's in a new state, new country, going here, going there. She living her best life. I said, really? She was like, it was like she's like, I don't know what happened. And I still don't know what happened. Are you depressed? Like you called me with a what was me. You was acting like you had a whole plan, doing all this, but then a month later you was out of here and been out of here every month since.
And with that being said, Dr. T, you're
Hmm.
right. That could be a two-parter. Either nothing was wrong or something
Right.
is still wrong. Because that
And you're
behavior,
masking it. Hmm.
yes, because with that behavior, it seems like a distracted behavior. You're using the traveling and
Hmm.
all that as a distraction so you don't have to open up the
Hmm.
Pandora box.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, as you were saying that, I was like, oh, okay. So but I hope
Girl,
she,
a whole mess.
yeah. So I hope she's okay and getting it together. But you're right about that. People need
Hmm.
to stop telling people, oh yeah, you need therapy because that comes off abrasive and now it
Hmm.
may seem forced to them. It may seem
Right.
forced and they may not want to do it because it can be intimidating. It
Hmm.
can be intimidating. So let me ask,
Yes.
Dr. T, do you
Hmm.
think the word suicide is attached to shame?
You know what? I think it is
Hmm.
because I think, if someone says it, people look at them a certain way and they walk around on pins and needles and they don't want to address it. I have met with a number of, like, I think about a lot of suicidal teenagers that I worked with,
Hmm.
right? And I think about how they're, the ones who didn't have borderline personality disorder. That's a whole nother topic.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
But those who were truly depressed and had this going on, it was a form of embarrassment for them because they started really sitting down when they was getting the treatment for it, right? They were sitting down and they're like, oh my gosh, I guess I really could have talked to someone about what was going on. And it's like they start thinking about having a plan A and a plan B and a plan C of the what if, what could I have done differently? And with that, a lot of the teens that worked with, they would say it was like a form of embarrassment, because they didn't know. Now with adults, some adults is like when the situation happened, they don't want to talk about it ever again, which, I can understand that. Don't bring it back up. But then you have those who will bring it back up as a form of healing and to help others,
Absolutely.
with it. But but I think it is, I think a lot of people do have a form, it can lead to a form of shame because
Yeah,
people just their feelings, they just
exactly.
feel upset and ashamed that they, allow their feelings to get to this point.
Absolutely. I agree.
What's your
And
take
you're
on
right.
that?
It is geared toward shame for some. It really is.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
it's difficult and it's hard to tell someone that you don't want to be here anymore, especially when you don't even know why.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Feeling like
Mhm.
a burden or anything, or not
Mhm.
able to, or feel alone, feel like you don't have
Mhm.
anyone to talk to. Like I want
Right.
to digress and go back to when we were talking about our men in the Black
Mhm.
community. What is something or that we can say to our
Mhm.
Black men about
Mhm.
mental health to prevent suicide, even suicidal ideation? What can we say to our Black men in order for them to speak with someone or feel they're comfortable enough to talk to us? What can we say? What can
I
we
think
do?
I mean, the thing is just being able to keep having these type of conversations and being able to provide resources and information out there to let them know that there are services out there that can help them, and a lot of people, at the end of the day, they don't want to talk to people that don't look like them, if that makes sense.
It makes a
So
lot
that
of sense.
also draws a lot of black men to where they don't want to talk about what they're going through because of being afraid that they're going to be, labeled, given medication, um, being told the wrong information that's not pertaining to them. And so, with that, just being able to open the lines of communication and have that talk with them about it, and being able to, refer them to various organizations such as Black Men Heal, which is an organization that provides therapy services for Black men.
That's amazing.
And so just
Absolutely.
being able to have those conversations so that we can help them, and let them see that there are men out there that is actually therapists that's helping, in addition to, support groups,
Yeah.
and let them know that there are support groups out there that can help them too.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And yes, Black Men Heal, that is one of the organizations, and you are affiliated and work with them as well. So you know
Yes.
that they do help. That's
Hmm.
right. So to everyone that's listening and will join later, check them out and pass their information along. Also, for me, one of the things that I think, well, some of the things that I think that we can do to try to prevent and help our brothers that's struggling with mental health is let them know a lot of times it's not their fault. A lot of times our brothers are dealing with trauma and childhood trauma. So we just, hey, you got to be understanding. Let them know it's okay not to be okay. First, they got to know that. First, they got to know that because with a man comes ego. And a lot of times they don't know that it's okay to not have that ego, that it's okay to, I'm down today, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling a certain way. They need to know that those feelings are normal, okay? It's uncomfortable, but it's normal. We have those. You're human. That's one of the traits of being human. They have to know that comes with the territory. Some get it, some don't, but it's okay. So one, they got to know that it's okay. Number two, they got to know that it stems from something. It can stem from many things. It can stem from a chemical imbalance. It can stem from childhood trauma. It can stem from drug-induced psychosis. Anything. So it's not your fault. So they have to know that. One, it's okay not to be okay. Two, it's not your fault. It's okay to heal. Men heal too. They have to know that. And like you said, Dr. T, they have to know that there are resourceful people. There are resources. We gonna need you to be resourceful. Absolutely. And another one is that you can't take it all. You can't do it all because a lot of people out here carrying crosses that don't belong to them. It ain't your cross to bear. So speak with someone. It's okay. And you don't have to commit. You can speak with someone, and it can be a one-time thing. If it's not a good fit, you go away, or you can, see someone every 2 weeks. Maybe speak with someone every month. You can move slow. Slow moving is still moving, but you got to know that there's help out there, and you have to know that you deserve to be helped. That you don't have to suffer in silence, because there's too many of us. So, actually, in actuality, you're not suffering in silence, because we already know it comes out in your behavior. Would you agree with that, T? They not suffering in
I
silence.
agree.
We see
Hmm.
the behavior. So we already know. T
Hmm.
and I already looking. We looking like, nigga, we know. Look what's going on over there. So you're not in silence because we see it, but you're doing it alone. But you're
That's
doing it
right.
loudly. Get some
Hmm.
help. Come talk to someone. Again, there are resources. We need you to be resourceful.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You think in our community, we feel judged in the Black communities when it comes to mental health?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We don't want nobody to judge us.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah,
Because people like, I don't want them knowing my business because they gonna be out talking about me.
yeah, absolutely. You're right about
That's the
that.
first thing. People don't want to
Yes,
be talked about. And
yes.
it's just like, because they know once one person start talking, it's like they feel like they being belittled and laughed at, and people, ooh, don't be around them. Do you know, I think about like things that happen, coming up, and people who were like, oh, don't hang around that person because that person, they got issues. And it was just like, well, what's the issues they got? And the issues would be because they was depressed and things
I
like
know.
that.
I'm
And I
familiar with
remember
situations like that. Yeah.
I remember
Isn't
that,
it
growing up, and seeing that, and like in high school, a lot in high school, where people would be like on pins and needles, stay away from that one, stay away from, and it's just like for what reason?
exactly.
I'm like, if somebody is having a moment, shouldn't we talk to them? Make sure they okay?
Yes, we got
You
to do better.
know, we got to do a whole lot better, a whole
Yes, we
lot
have to
better.
have more conversations like this, be
Hmm.
resourceful, and
Hmm.
learn how to advocate for yourself. So, with that
Yes.
being said, T, what do you think? What are some of the warning signs for us, for our people to see within themselves and in their loved ones
Hmm.
when it comes to suicide? What are some of the
Decrease
warning signs?
a decreased appetite, giving away their belongings, um, you know, uh, talking in the past tense about various life issues. Let's see. Trying to think, it was something else that was like, this is like the top three that I just gave, that you
Absolutely.
see happening. Basically talking like they're not going to be here,
Hmm.
and providing information, like giving information that you're not asking for,
Exactly. Exactly.
and you're looking like, well, why are you telling me this?
Exactly.
Like they're trying to prepare you for something, and so, that's four of the warning signs that I see from
Absolutely.
people.
Dr. T is absolutely right on that.
Hmm.
Talking about not living anymore, not being
Hmm.
around, withdrawal
Hmm.
from family and friends, putting their affairs in order. And yes,
Hmm.
taking risks when that's unusual, especially unusual
Hmm.
behavior. And
Yeah.
where everyone can go get that information as well is it's called the National Institute of Mental Health. They have a list
Hmm.
of warning signs that you can
Hmm.
go check out for yourself, people. It is
Hmm.
NIH, National Institute of Mental Health. And go check that site out. It's an amazing site where you can check out all of the warning signs. So we want to prevent, have more conversations, and and asking someone. I need everyone to hear this. Asking someone about suicide will not
Hmm.
increase them to want to have
Hmm.
suicide. It won't make them. A lot of people feel like, well, I didn't want to ask. Girl, that's the question you need to ask. That if they gonna do it,
Hmm.
ask that question.
Hmm.
So you can
Yeah.
ask the question, okay?
Hmm.
But check out the warning signs, have more conversations, and just check on
Hmm.
people. But most importantly, check on yourself. Would you
So
agree with
yes,
that, Dr. G?
I
Get
agree.
yourself.
Because
So
you're
what?
no
So
good
Dr.
if
G,
you're no
tell the
good.
people again what's the name of your book.
Maintaining good mental health.
Yes. Go check out her book. And can they purchase that on Instagram? Can they go to your Instagram?
If they go to my IG page, you could DM me and I will give you the information for it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you contact Dr. T, everyone, so you can get her book because I believe, as do she, self advocating for yourself. And I have a
Mhm.
book that I have written for women. It's a simple
Yes.
guide that would teach you how to advocate for yourself. It's called Women Living Above Anxiety and Depression. I didn't say we was living with it. I said live above. So check
That's
my
right.
book out. You can DM me for that information, or you can go over to my Instagram and it's the link in my bio and get that. Learn how to advocate for yourself because when you're taking care of you and you get you together, you're helping your friends and family as well. And I
Hmm.
am Dr. Candace Elaine.
I am Dr. Tyra Gardner, and we're going to have a little couple words from our sponsors. We have a couple of sponsors this week, and here we are. I have a seminar coming up on Monday evening. Hey Girl, Heal Thyself support group, and that's going to be Monday, February the 7th at 8 p.m. on Zoom. With it is a free event, so just DM me for the information. Our next sponsor is, let's see. Thanks, Dee. Thanks for watching our show, Dee. Thank you so much. So I'm going to put up our the information about the National Suicide Hotline, so everybody have that information for them as well. Boom. There's the information for them, 800-273-8255. We definitely want to thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, thank you,
Yes,
thank you.
thank
Thanks
you.
for watching Mental Health Minute with Doctors Candace and Tyra. We are so happy to have all of you. Girl, you seen I've been doing it with the graphics.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, and we got
To
one
be an
more.
amazing workshop where I would teach you how to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. It is time to elevate, honey. Whatever you got going on, we're going to leave that in 2021. So if you would like to elevate and change,
That is
If
my
you want to
workshop. I have
elevate and change, we got the Mindset Workshop with Dr. Candace. We want to thank everyone for coming through this evening. Yes, we want you to subscribe to our page, like, and comment. We are checking comments on our YouTube all the time.
Yes. Thank
Oh,
you.
did it.
Love
Another
it. Thank you. This
episode.
was an amazing show. Thank you, everyone. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Yes.